Hello everyone, this is Dr. Jayanthy Ravindran from Tamira Plastic Surgery. So in this video, let's look into what exactly a facelift surgery does, why is it done, what are the benefits of doing a facelift surgery, and how can you compare this with other non-surgical methods available for facelifting. So facelift as such is a surgical procedure which is done to actually correct those changes that has happened in the face over a period of time. So with aging, what happens is our skin collagen elastin breakdown happens, and so the skin gradually loses its elasticity and expands. So the length of the skin actually it expands, right? That's one thing. Second, the tissues that were tight and in place, with this expansion of the retaining ligament sags down with gravity. So the tissues moves down with gravity. Then there is also atrophy of the fat. So then there is volume loss in the face that also contributes to sagging. So there is expansion or loss of elasticity of the skin, and then there is descent of the tissues in the face, and there is volume loss. Now when we look at facelift, we try and restore all of this. And one, of course, another important thing to address is also the skin texture. Now, during facelift, a surgery as such, there are also added procedures which are also done to improve skin texture. Now let's look at what is done during facelift surgery. So facelift surgery is done under anesthesia. Yes, it can be done under local as well, but at Tamira we prefer to do it under general anesthesia. It's a proper surgical procedure and it could be combined with multiple other smaller procedures to give a complete results. So when we address the face, most of the time we also address the neck. So the incision or the where will you eventually have the scar. So where we make the incision is where you will have the scar. So these scars are very well concealed. They are placed along your hairline. So it's when somebody sees you from front, it's not visible. It's placed very close to the hairline and along your ears, and it goes behind your ears along the hairline again when a neck lift is combined. So under anesthesia, these incisions are made and then the plane is elevated, the skin is elevated, and there are multiple techniques of doing this facelift. You would have heard of these names called minimal access cranial suspension or a short scar max facelift. And then you have the traditional facelift, which involves the plication of the tissue below your skin. The tissue below your skin is called smash, and either you tighten that smash to lift the tissue that is sagged, or you incise them and you remove those excess, resuture them. And of course, there is what we call deep plane facelift, where the entire unit as a composite unit with the soft tissue and the muscle is lifted as a single unit. So these are all multiple techniques that is followed for the longevity of the result. If you do a short scar, of course, the downtime and the risks are also less, but of course the longevity may not be as long as a deep plane facelift. But a traditional facelift again can give you a result in between. But again, the deep plane facelift, because the whole unit is lifted as a composite unit, need to be done by experienced surgeons doing this, because it can have some complication. And all of these together, these different techniques is what is followed in facelift. But while doing a facelift, usually a neck lift is always combined. So when you are evaluated for a neck tightening, you will have what is called platysmal band or the platysma muscle that's in the neck. When you actually pout your lip, you will see bands of these in your neck. So these bands also have to be addressed. So in addition to the scar along the hairline, sometimes there is a requirement to make a small incision in the submental region. So this is your chin. So below the chin, an incision is made to address if there is significant medial platysmal bands. So along with this, usually upper and lower blepharoplasty, which means if you have excessive skin hooding in the upper eyelid and lot of wrinkles and skin excess in the lower eyelid, that is also combined. In addition to that, sometime a brow lift is also combined. So I prefer to do a gliding brow lift, but of course there are different techniques of a brow lift that can be combined. So complete, if you look at a face and neck lift for the whole face rejuvenation, it can start from your brows. So a brow lift, upper eyelid blepharoplasty, lower eyelid blepharoplasty, right? And then a facelift, neck lift, and of course we do nano fat grafting, areas where you need skin rejuvenation along with microneedling with stem cell enriched nano fat. And of course, if there is any specific areas where volumes have to be enhanced, like your lips or under eyes or your medial upper eyes, malar mound, all of this, some fat grafting is also added. So to look back again on facelift procedure, it's a surgical procedure done with incision along your hairline, extending on behind your ears and along your posterior hairline, can be combined with a neck lift, may require an incision below your chin, and of course can be combined with a brow lift as well as upper lower eyelid blepharoplasty and fat grafting and facial skin rejuvenation. So if you have been thinking about anti-aging procedure, definitely it's worthwhile combining a surgical procedure. Now the principle of aging is the same. So you have the skin that needs to be addressed, you have volume that needs to be addressed, some effect that has come because of animation where you have wrinkles that needs to be addressed, and descent of the tissue. All of them have to be addressed. Of course, they all can be addressed non-surgically as well by a combination procedures. Let's look at it in another video where we can combine multiple non-surgical procedures to see how much we can achieve closer to the surgical facelift. But we cannot achieve result of a surgical facelift and the longevity that you can have with a surgical facelift with a non-surgical procedure. But the advantage of a non-surgical facelift procedure is you can add multiple procedures throughout the year and you can start them at an early age, and so you can avoid a surgical facelift in future. Because the only disadvantage I see in our skin, especially the South Indian skin or a dark skin of color, is that the scars, if they become hypertrophied or hyperpigmented, they become visible. That's the only flip side of a surgical facelift. But if they all settle well, then a surgical facelift gives phenomenal, great result which can last for between 10 to 15 years. And of course, we'll look at the non-surgical options for anti-aging and facelifting in the next video.